Here are the differences I noticed between the 1986 book and the 2024 graphic novel of Sweet Valley Twins Choosing Sides. The graphic novel has dedications. The graphic novel starts with a scene of Elizabeth writing a newspaper article and calling Amy. Elizabeth doesn't prank Jessica by pretending there's something wrong with her looks. Stephen jokes that boosters are ugly shots. Jessica responds he used up all the ugly. In the book, he jokes, Jessica's a babe in a leotard, and she jokes that he's so hilarious. The graphic novel doesn't explain the rules of the cheerleading tryouts. The book makes it clear the unicorns have the first 4 spots on the squad. Auditions are for the final 4 spots. Jessica is nicer when complaining about the girls she dislikes. In the book, she says things like, Lois is so fat, she's really 2 people. And Amy is an icky tomboy. Jessica's parents come down a lot harder on her for excluding other people. The graphic novel removes Jessica's second round of complaints, which specifically target Amy. The graphic novel introduces a storyline where Lila is extra mean and dismissive towards Jessica, along with a story that Lila takes all the credit for Jessica's work. I assume this is supposed to make Jessica a more sympathetic character. Nora Mercandy is replaced with Julie Porter because Nora hasn't been introduced in the graphic novel series yet. The graphic novel adds a scene where Julie and Elizabeth meet up with Amy at the start of school. Elizabeth talks to Amy before tryouts. Boys try out for cheerleading. In the book, it's girls only. The unicorns don't wear matching outfits to tryouts. The cheerleaders practice with pom-poms. In the book, they use pom-poms and batons. Amy messes up during tryouts because she's nervous. In the book, she messes up on purpose. Elizabeth doesn't mention that Bruce bullies her for being blonde. While Bruce insults Ken for being short many times, he no longer uses the word midget, which was his main insult in the book. After giving Ken a pep talk, Elizabeth worries she sounds like her mom. The graphic novel adds a scene where Amy talks with Elizabeth after tryouts. Amy has straw-colored hair in the book, but not according to the cover artist. Ken and Elizabeth bump into each other. In the book, she chases after him for a bit, only to discover he's running away because he's crying. They remove the scene of talking to Stephen while he's getting food. Elizabeth bribes Stephen with donuts. In the book, he doesn't need a bribe before he helps Ken. When Jessica says Amy should drop out, it starts a fight between the twins. In the book, when Jessica says Amy should drop out, Elizabeth quickly agrees. Elizabeth's phone call with Amy is about 3 times as long. Jessica immediately confronts Elizabeth about the rumor she's dating Ken. In the book, she waits until after ballet class before asking. Amy and Ken talk to each other a lot more. They remove the scene of Ken practicing by himself. They remove the scene of Amy practicing by herself. They add a scene of Jessica texting her friends about their plan. The unicorns pressure Amy at school. In the book, they call her at home. The unicorns bring up Elizabeth when pressuring Amy. They remove the scene where Lila makes Jessica eat carrot sticks instead of pizza burgers to avoid getting fat. They add a scene where Amy is nice to Ken, which gives the unicorns the idea to exploit Amy's crush. They remove 2 scenes where the characters mention the Johnny Buck concert in the next book. Jessica writes the fake love notes on a computer. In the book, she handwrites them. The note to Ken says he stinks at basketball. In the book, it says he's short. And Lila says that insult was a nice touch. Lila steals all the credit for the notes, taking it away from Jessica. In the book, Jessica gets all the credit. Amy explains why she doesn't get a teacher involved. They add a scene of Elizabeth confronting Jessica at ballet. In the book, she never confronts Jessica about the fake love notes. Elizabeth is a nicer friend before the tryouts. In the book, she makes one last attempt to convince Amy to quit. There are far fewer people at tryouts. In the book, 25 girls are there. The book gives more information about the other girls at tryouts. 2 of them are Unicorn Club members, adding more pressure to Amy. Jessica wonders if they should let Amy keep going. Lila refuses to believe Amy might be good. In the book, the roles are switched around a bit. Ellen wonders if Amy might be good, and Jessica assures her, no, Amy is a klutz. The graphic novel skips straight to Amy doing the name cheer. In the book, every single girl does the name cheer. Amy is last. The teacher is shown once during tryouts. In the book, she is shown twice. The graphic novel removes the trick where the unicorns pretend they'll do the cheer with Amy, but they back away, leaving her to do it by herself. Amy and Ken make a plan to go out on a date. Jessica talks to Elizabeth after tryouts. I assume this is supposed to be a redemption scene for Jessica. Since the graphic novels switched books 3 and 4, the scenes previewing the next book in the series are previews for book 3, not book 5. That's about 50 changes. The big one is focusing more on Amy and Ken. I was actually surprised to see Amy doesn't talk until page 30 of 100 in the book. They added more scenes with Jessica and tried to change things a bit, so Jessica is less of a villain.